Why, hello there, Nice Tail here. I do hope you're having a good day today, and today I'm bringing you a summary of a knife I have done a review on. The full review will be linked down in the description. And what are we looking at? We are looking at the Thor 7, and I'm going to make this a quick one, because this is a very interesting knife, very good knife, very solid knife. This is made by Rike Knives, and if anybody's seen any of my reviews on Rike Knives, they're always doing something very, very interesting. As you can see, this is hardly boring or your standard sort of knife, yet it is a very, very good knife, as the review has stated. Overall, just a quick little bit. I do go into more depth into the full review. Just under 3.5 inches of blade, 8 1/4 overall. It is on bearings. It is in 14C, 154 cm. I'm hitting the camera there. This is number 110. This was from the original run of them. They have done a couple runs. These things are not always in stock, and I kind of hope they pump more of them out, because these are really good. They are. I don't necessarily think it needs the Thor 7 there, but what are we looking at here? 154 cm, drop point blade, great access to the tip. The plunge guide could be a little bit better, but it does give you, I mean, it ends up here and it kind of is on an angle, so it's back here. So you'd have this life, which is, I mean, quite a bit of life. And the stop pin is this thing up here, so you can always cut in anything you want down there. Great for that. A lot of organic structuring in the opening aperture, I suppose you would call it. Does it need to be there? No. Is it there? Yes. Is it a showcase of whatever I can do? Yes. They like showing off. They do their things. There is a swedge also, I suppose you could mention, on the front. And if you really want to call it, you could say that's a tiny bit of a poon or a harpoon, but I wouldn't necessarily go that far. The flipper tab is, again, I don't know why I'm saying again, but the flipper tab is a highlight here, because even though it doesn't look like it goes with the rest of the design, Rike does this flipper tab on most of their knives, and it's a brilliant design. It just works. It's something that deserves mention just because of how good it is. It's always good. It's round, and the jimping doesn't even have to be that hard, but for some reason it just really always catches. I've seen it on a couple other knives now. It's always good. That's a dog. What are we looking at for the handle here? We're looking at the Rike logo here on the pivot, and so it's not on that's a dog who's barking at something. We've got a titanium, what do you even call that? I guess you could call it a bolster, but it's not. This is actually an integral piece of titanium, one solid piece of titanium, and that makes this knife technically integral, despite the fact that it comes in under $200. Hold on. For a moment, I'm going to see what he has to say. He has a lot of things to say, but none of them particularly relevant. So, I am back. The handle on this knife, the rest of the handle, I should say, is G10. It is 2 pieces of G10 clamshelled together. There is a seam there. It's very hard to see. But, so yeah, technically, this is probably one of the least expensive integral titanium knives you are ever going to see. In fact, I'd bet my bottom dollar that it is the least expensive integral titanium knife. I mean, you're not getting a lot of integral, but yeah. Like I said, under $200 for these things, which is pretty freaking crazy, and kind of what Rike does with their showcase of all the craziness that they do. I don't know what I'm laughing at, so just bear with me there. In this case, the G10 is like a kind of an olive green camo kind of dog. I'll be back again. That time he had a legitimate reason to bark. The neighbor was coming home, so I'll give him that much. Now I'm completely lost, but green G10, were some different variants of this. There was also a carbon fiber variant that released not that long ago, though I'm pretty sure they're gone too, unfortunately. When I sold this on the website that I got it off of, it looked more like a yellowish than it did green, but it's still cool, still fun, still interesting. The lock bar is back here. I guess technically the titanium does go a bit further than just this. There's a lock bar sticking off of that, which is kind of an interesting way to do it, and everything else is just bolted to it. Lock bar insert. Surprisingly great access to the lock bar. It is on bearings. It is pretty darn nice action. I will say that you do feel the bearings run a bit more, possibly due to the fact that, I mean, there's so little actual titanium here that the reverberation doesn't dissipate as much because this is technically a separate part. So I don't know, but it puts off a little bit of bearing track movement. And of course, that could also just be mine. Who knows? There's always little things in production knives that, or any knife, that can vary between models or within the same model line. Yeah. Pocket clip. Pocket clip is titanium, is a bit long, but good flex, good retention, interestingly milled and styled. Nice little micro milling even on there, as you can see. I do kind of wish the hardware wasn't blue, but the hardware is blue on all of them, and it does fit on knives, on the models that, you know, have a different kind of G10 a little bit better than mine, I'll admit. Ergos are actually really surprisingly great, despite this, again, organic milling back here in conjunction to the stuff that was going up front there. You got a ribbed and sort of carapace-looking kind of structure back here. Despite that, the ergos are actually pretty good. Yeah, you feel it, like, I mean, but at the same time, it's not really a problem in any way. It's pretty comfortable. It's super rounded, pretty nice. The pocket clip you do feel because, well, it gets super narrow here and you're gonna feel the pocket clip, but it's not bad, right? There's no hot spots. It's just sort of there. It's part of the handle. It's a little thickness increase. It's raised. It's unavoidable, but it's not. There's nothing bad here, and honestly, this is a very good knife. It's also pretty darn thin behind the edge for what it is. So yeah, this thing cuts surprisingly well. I suppose you could argue that you wish the blade steel was a little bit better at over $150, but titanium integral. Let's be honest. That's what's part of what you're paying for here. So overall, this is a pretty cool knife, a pretty interesting knife. Rike doing the Rike things, as always, and I really like it. I kind of hope they do have these out more regularly. That's a look at the Thor 7. As I said, there's a lot more information and stuff in the specs and all that in the full review. So I will end things here. Say like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.